Greetings, everyone. Good morning on this Saturday for you. Friday for me. It is Friday, August 29th, 2025. Last Labor Day weekend. Hope everybody's having a good Labor Day weekend so far. Beautiful day, 75 and sunny out here on the walking trail. Gonna do a construction update. Let's see how the houses are coming along down here. I've got some interesting and exciting information to give to you guys today. Jessica and I are planning our big September trip. And if you have been following the channel for a while, you probably know where we're going. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to guess that 85-90% of our channel knows where we're going. We're going to Disney World. Shocker, right? We are planning the trip. I just got back from the storage unit. I took a bunch of mugs. I have a coffee mug collecting addiction, as most of you know. I can't help it. I love coffee. I love collecting things. I love collecting coffee mugs. I do. It's one of my things. The funny thing is I only really use one mug, Frank, the American bald eagle, as I use that cup most of the day, if not every day. Gonna need to start giving Frank a break. Show you guys some of my other mugs. But anyway, I took a whole tote. One of the totes that I bought from Sam's Club, by the way. Got one on sale, $7.98. It's a good deal. Regular price, $8.98. So those totes, guys, I love them. You can stack them on top of each other. So I packed away about 25, give or take, maybe 30. I don't really know. I packed a tote full. I did have some other room. Jessica put some crafting stuff in there too that she's not using right now because, you know, we're just out of a lot of space. You know, we were out of space, really. We're just constantly moving things around. But yeah, good to get that done. I also ate at that Rokuru, however you pronounce it. Found out it's a Japanese ramen noodles. But I did try it, and it was absolutely delicious. I did take some B-roll of the footage. I will insert it here. I gotta tell you, it was delicious. I got the miso ramen soup. Came with the ramen noodles at the bottom. Bamboo, which was interesting. It had two eggs with the eggs were delicious. Absolutely delicious, cooked to perfection. The presentation of this too was amazing. The presentation is, to me, presentation is everything. You know, it wasn't the cheapest. It was $15. But I swear you could share one of these with two people. It was way more than I could eat. I had to take some of it to go. But it was really good. And the pork belly was amazing. Kind of soaked in the juices from the chicken stock that they use for the miso soup. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. I really enjoyed it. So for those of you who are wanting me to do a review on that, hopefully I was able to put the footage in here for you. I'm sure I can. Video kind of started off kind of strange today. I just could not get it together. I was like, I want to take you guys somewhere with me today, but I don't want to go in a grocery store. I did not want to go in a grocery store. Didn't even want to look at grocery prices, as it's getting to that point of the year where it's starting to really drive me nuts. We've gone over a lot of different price increases, you know, at the stores. We've gone over a lot of different sales, which I try to focus on more these days, because when you go grocery shopping, the one thing you always want to do is save money. You know, you don't want to overpay for coffee. You don't want to overpay for beef and all this other stuff. But Rokuru was fantastic. The employees there were so nice. So nice. And like I said, the presentation was incredible. When they brought it out to the table, I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing. It looked exactly like it did on the menu. How many times do you see a commercial for something like a burger or something? Like, wow, I wish a Whopper looked like that. This did. This looked exactly like it did on the menu. I was impressed. No building up on the houses right here. I'm wondering if they're going to start growing some trees right here. I don't know. I mean, they took them down. Obviously, they got some serious overgrowth here. So when they do start building, they're going to have to mow this down. But we're excited, guys. We are so excited for Florida. I kind of got the Florida, I don't know. It's like, it's always funny, like around Cincinnati. It starts getting cool. As soon as it starts getting cool, we go right to Orlando, back into the crazy heat. One thing we did do this time, we've never actually done before, traveling down to Florida in September. We are flying. That's right, I said it. We are flying to Florida. Me and Jessica have got I don't know, I usually wait for Jess to see what she wants to do. I would have been fine with driving. I don't like the drive. It's very long. And, it's always kind of gung-ho. Jessica only has, a couple weeks that we can do whatever. And, I'm not going to lie. I was trying to convince her, hey, let's fly, let's fly. And we were looking at some of the flights, and it was like, some of them are kind of a headache. When you got layovers and stuff like that, it's like, well, by the time you do all that, you might as well drive. However, we found a flight through Frontier. If you guys remember the last time we took Frontier, I called it Frontier First Class, which it's Frontier Premier or something. But we got the front row seats, the nice big cushion seats. It's a little more, it was a little over $700. And we were able to get it that cheap because we're actually leaving a couple days early. If you're like Jess and I, when we travel, like when you fly, if you can sometimes work around the flight, you can get a better deal. Like, because we were able to leave a couple days early, we were able to get an incredible deal. The same flight, when we were looking at before, was $1,200 round trip. And that was together, right? So, even at $1,200, I still didn't want to drive, to be honest with you. But getting it for $730 or $740 or whatever it was, we weren't going to pass that up. Yeah, I couldn't believe when I heard it come out of Jessica's mouth, why don't we just fly? And her reasoning for that was, even though she doesn't like to fly, it's hard to not want to get in Orlando in an hour and a half. It is an hour and a half flight from Cincinnati Airport. And it's just thinking of driving 14 hours, not being able to make it all the way for 2 days. You start adding up those hotels, a couple hundred for gas. It's like we're actually saving a little bit of money by flying. Sit down on this nice bench here for a second and chat with you guys. Oh, boy, I'll tell you, I am stuffed. That day, I'm not kidding, that ramen bowl, most of you guys know I've been on a ramen kick lately. And, yeah, it was good to try, like, some professional ramen, some delicious pasta mix in. I gotta say, everything else was the winner, though. The eggs, I didn't really expect the egg. I mean, I knew from the menu that it came with it. I didn't expect it was going to be so good, the way they cooked it and the way the chicken stock kind of put flavor into everything. The the pork belly melted in your mouth, melted in my mouth. It was absolutely delicious. And, well, I'll tell you something else funny. So before I came out here, right, I was on my way out here. I was like, I'm going to get a coffee. I didn't really want to stop at Starbucks, but it was really on the only one on the way out here. I guess I could have stopped at McDonald's, but the line was wrapped around the building, and I was like, you know, and then it was a full parking lot, so I knew even if I went inside, it was going to take a while. So I pulled into Starbucks. I saw there was no line. I was like, okay, well, I'll just get a coffee. And I didn't want anything fancy. Their coffee machine was down. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I guess that's a sign. I guess I shouldn't be drinking coffee right now. But, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Starbucks, coffee machine down. You should have a backup. You should have a backup machine. I mean, you're a coffee shop. But, yeah, we're excited for Florida, guys. I wore one of my favorite Disney World shirts here. It's got Mickey and Pluto and all the guys on the different rides. We're excited for the rides. We're excited to just get out of town. Get out of town for a little while. We have annual passes to Disney World, so it's basically free at this point. And we get our money's worth. We really do. But the whole flying thing, we've never flown there in September before for our big trip. Now, the nice thing is going to Disney World, all the transportation is free. It's all free. All the transportation that we're going to use is going to be free, minus a couple Ubers here and there. Might take an Uber to Walmart, get some water, or we'll do Walmart Plus. I still have never used my free trial. Been saving it for a special occasion. This may be it. We need to plan it because we're actually staying at a couple different hotels. We're staying at a couple different hotels. Couple things, you know, I won't say where we're staying because that's kind of a surprise. I don't, you know, Jess knows that I'm giving out the information here, so don't worry about that. I know Jess likes to be in part of these videos, but we're not going to go over, you know, the different hotels we're staying at. But I will say you guys are in for a treat. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a whole bunch of new different foods we're going to be trying. New events that we're going to be doing this year. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited. Like I said, it's about a couple weeks away, give or take a day or two, but we're ready to get out of here. It'll be good to change up the scenery some. And guys, thank you so much for watching our videos each and every day. It really means a lot to me and Jess, and it's just amazing. You know, we continue. Our YouTube family continues to grow every day. And it's nice to be able to just come out here and chat with you guys for a day. I told myself, I was like, I am not going into a store today. And I know we're going to have a couple weeks coming up here soon where we're not going to have store videos. It's basically going to be all entertainment. But don't worry, you all will be entertained. You will have fun. You will feel like you are there with us as we try to bring that approach really in whatever we do. But yeah, I don't know. I ate at Rakuru. The audio there, I was going to put that in like as I was doing it. Like I was recording it like a normal video. And for some reason, the audio was so quiet, I wasn't able to really add that in. So probably be able to just add some of the video of that in. But they do continue to build this little sidewalk area here. And they got these houses here where you can high-five each other. These houses are absolutely gorgeous. Kind of been looking at them online a little bit, checking them out. They're expensive though. I think every one of these is over $400,000. Now the ones in the back on the right are show homes. But there are actually homes behind there that we've shown before. People are actually living in those. Beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. Not going to keep you guys too long today. I just wanted to get out here and chat with y'all. You know, wanted to bring the exciting news. We need exciting stuff. We need fun stuff to take our minds off of all the doom and gloom. I know some of you guys will say, well, it's relevant information. It's good to know. It is. But for me, I need to kind of decompress a little I was talking to my mom last night that it's just really taking its toll, and I need a break. I need a break, but I want to keep up with the daily videos. It's a hard conundrum, you know, so that's one reason why we are out here today, enjoying the fresh air, listening to the crickets, and I'm sure you guys have been hearing some of the cicadas. The cicadas have been hanging around. I don't know what is going on, but they have been, oh, you can hear one over there. Hear it? Some people think that that's a noise that comes out of their mouth. It's not, it's their legs rubbing together. Really weird. Their little tiny legs rub together like 100 miles an hour, and that's what makes that noise. I never knew that up until a couple years ago when we had the cicada invasion. I think it was 2021. I don't know, I actually have a playlist that I did of the cicadas. You can see all the millions of cicadas on our home and just everywhere. They were everywhere. I would even walk on this trail, there'd be millions. Millions! I know, I say millions. And then you may think, oh no, it's probably like thousands. Well, I don't know. Sure felt like millions. Excited for everything. Really hyped up, guys. I'll tell you what, I was not feeling the drive. Part of the reason, if you guys remember, I was talking about getting my new tires on the car and everything. I don't know if I told this story, but like a week later, I got a screw in my tire. And not just any screw, it's like one of them construction screws. It was that thick. About that long, but it was that thick. It could not be repaired. Brand new tire. Brand new daggone tire. And I was driving with my window down. I was like, okay, I knew it was metal. I knew it wasn't a rock. I've been driving long enough. I can hear the difference, you know. But I knew, I was like, well, something's in the tire. I can't believe it. I just bought these. Gone years with my other tires. No issues, no problems. As soon as I buy a new one gets lodged in the tire. Well, so I took it back to Honda, okay? Took it back to Honda, and because I got warranty on them, roadside warranty, up to 2 years, and they said they can't repair it. And I said, well, what do I do? And they said, oh, we're just going to give you another tire. I said, sweet. I was like, man, because I'm thinking here in a few weeks, like, we're going to be driving to Florida. And it was like, man, what do I do? Like, and boy, when they said that, I mean, it was like it was a given. They were just going to give me one. And I was just so relieved. Little thistles there. Decided to fly. Decided to fly on out of here, get to Orlando. Our flight is very early in the morning. But that's what's nice when you're down there inside the Disney bubble, is not only is your transportation free, I'll tell you from years of experience of going down there that our room is most certainly not going to be ready when we get there. It'll probably be hours, but they're very accommodating. Like, we could drop our luggage off and they'll take it to our room when it's ready. And if we want, you know, probably give a little bit of a tip or something, but if we want stuff delivered, right, from like Walmart Plus or Amazon, they'll deliver that too. And we don't even have to do nothing. And I will say, one of the resorts we're staying at is pretty massive. It is pretty huge. So, you know, I started thinking of all the reasons why I was happy to have our car down there. Mostly because we can do everything. But you know what? I work every day. Every day I'm out here doing videos. And just, you know, putting stuff out here for you guys on the interwebs. I can pay somebody else. I'll pay somebody else to do it. If you guys remember our trip last year, we went to Coronado Springs in March. We had a chance to get away, got a really good deal on one of those rooms. So we got away for a few days, and they didn't have like the luggage rack things. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't know if I really wanted to walk that far anyways, like a mile walk with all of our luggage. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was crazy. And this valet guy came up, he said, oh, I'll drive you over there. Here, let's load your stuff up. I said, sounds good, buddy. And I'll tell you what, he was like Mario Andretti in that golf cart. I mean, he was taking us places we didn't even know you could get to in that resort. We were going like in between, like, I can't remember if I filmed that or not. I should have if I didn't. If we do something like that this time, I will. But that guy was awesome. He was so much fun. He took us back and was like pointing things out about the resort and stuff, giving us different information, all that. And I tipped him good. I tipped him good. And I'll tell you what, it was worth the $7 or $8 or $9, whatever it was, whatever cash. I didn't have much cash on me. But I just gave him what I had. And that guy was very appreciative. Very appreciative. As a matter of fact, I grabbed a $5 bill and I started to hand it to him, and he said, wow, thank you very much. And he said, well, let me put this away for you in this. And but I was looking for more change. I asked Jess if she had anything else, and I happened to have $4 in my pocket, out of my wallet. $4 in my pocket from when we were at the airport, and I got something to drink and have $4 left over, which I was happy because, and I would have ran him back some more money. You know, I would have went back up to the lobby later once I got the cash, because I'll tell you what, I know Disney does some magical things, guys. They really do, and we've never been disappointed. You know, there's that saying, you get what you pay for. Disney is not cheap. Now, me and Jessica know how to kind of do some workarounds to save money on different things like food, different accommodations that we can get different discounts on, all kinds of different things. The passes, we get discounts with that as well. On rooms, we got some serious deals on the hotel, which again, I'm not going to go over that right now because I want Jess to be part of that. She's been really busy. She's been really busy with work right now. They've been kind of putting the hammer down. So glad it's Friday. She should be off here in a couple hours. And I don't know. I think she just wants to chill and maybe play some videos. She can do whatever she wants. You know, I told her, I said, you know, we're leaving here in a couple weeks. No sense in killing ourselves trying to get all this other stuff done. Well, you know, everything gets done, you know, as we go along. You know, and it's kind of that stage where it's like, you know, you're getting ready to go on a trip and it's like everything slows to a crawl. To show you guys how much Jessica cares about, you know, she's been going over different ideas, things that we can show you, some new things, you know, just, I know it's more about just, you know, you guys hanging out with us on our travels and our trips and stuff like that. But I just think it's cool and awesome that Jessica always thinks of these things. She thinks, okay, what's something cool that we can do in a video that you guys are going to really appreciate, that you're going to enjoy to see. And she jots all these things down, and then we go over them, and sometimes we do them. You know, sometimes things just don't work out, you know, and that's not her fault or my fault. It's just, you know, it could be, say, it rains a lot in Orlando. So if it was something we were going to do outside, well, you know, weather can be a major factor why we can't do some things. Oh yeah, so the bees are gone. Bees are gone. Got rid of the bees. Washed the car in all the areas where those hives were. If you followed our video from the other day, bees are completely gone. I've been driving Jessica's car around, checking everywhere every day just to make sure, because yeah, you don't want to get in the car and then realize there's bees in there. But the bees are gone. Bees are gone. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Happy for that. It's like everything, you know, I feel like everything happens the way it's supposed to. Like, when I got that nail in my tire, the big screw, and had to go back, and it was like, the next day, Jessica was looking at flights. I think she was kind of feeling me in the same, like, you know, we've driven down there a lot, but I kind of looked at that as a sign. Like, look, if we find a decent price on a flight, let's jump on it. And we kind of just went with that, guys. It was like, it just felt, you know, I was feeling this for a while, and I was like, you know, even after I got the new tires, I was like, I just really, it's not even that I don't like driving down there. I mean, I don't. I'd rather fly. It's nice having your car. Renting a car can get expensive. But when you factor in a lot of the things that we're doing down there, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Maybe a couple Uber rides. Most of you, if you don't know, I know we've gained a lot of subscribers this year. Thank you very much for that. But Jessica's family lives down there. So she's got a lot of family. We've got some friends that live down in Florida. We're going to be hanging out with a lot of them over the next couple weeks. And, you know, it's just, we don't really need to have our car. We can work around it. And it was like, just the whole thought. It's not so much the drive down there. You know, it's like you're excited to get down there. We usually make it to, like, I don't know. Once we get past Atlanta, I feel like it's kind of smooth sailing because it's all flat. You know, but after driving through the mountains of Kentucky and Tennessee, and then you get through Atlanta, we'll usually get past Macon. Like, usually Macon, off of 75 down there. I try to get to Florida. I know one time we made it to Ocala. We used to drive straight through. You know, years ago, we used to drive straight through and never really had too much of an issue. But it's like nowadays, I feel like population is growing like crazy and traffic is just insane. Atlanta's a roll of the dice. You know, anybody who's driven through Atlanta knows that it could be it could be good, it could be decent, it can be a complete nightmare. Last couple times we drove, it's usually a complete nightmare, and it's usually not in Atlanta. It's usually like Marietta, which is northern Atlanta, or just south of Atlanta. That's usually when the headache begins. But I think Jess is starting to remember these things more, and just how much, you know, for what she has to deal with, because she has anxiety. She gets anxiety when flying and stuff. She just does not like to fly. But when you start thinking of everything that is nice about flying, getting there soon, and we have flown a lot more over the last few years than she probably has her whole life, you know, and she's starting to get more and more used to it, and just kind of, you know, she's been a lot more open about it, therefore, you know, having conversations with her friends and family about it. You know, a lot of people deal with the same kind of things when they fly, so when you can relate in certain ways, I think that does help kind of bring the anxiety of it down. Plus, you get to Orlando in an hour and a half. You know, once you take off, you're landing, you know, 2 hours or less. And that's hard to beat. That's hard to beat, especially, you know, when you're not on a time schedule. But it would have been 4 days of total drive time. Not 4 whole days. Say 3 whole days. A day and a half, and then a day and a half getting home. And that's the hard part, is the drive home. That is the absolute crazy. You're tired. And, you know, I feel like our trips, our travels, it's more work than actual work, guys. Because, I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff. We like rides. We like roller coasters. We like themed areas. We love being, you know, I'll tell you what, the coolest place that I've ever stayed at in my life, the coolest resort I've ever been at was Coronado Springs. And if you guys seen those videos, I mean, I was happier than anything. I mean, that place, because you're kind of, it's like, yeah, you're on Disney property, but you're kind of out of Disney. Like, it's very Latin inspired, Spanish, you know, very, they even have like Maya themed, like the Mayans themed areas, the water slide. I love water slides. The big pool with the pyramid in the middle. I mean, it's just, there's so much about it to love. It's just incredible. I've been to a lot of places, and I gotta say, that's the coolest resort I've ever been to. Well, even though this is not a coffee rant, I feel like I am starting to rant on a bit. I appreciate you guys listening today. All part of the adventure. Excited for Labor Day too. Also next week, I don't know if we're going or not. They do have the Harvest Home Festival. We used to go to the Harvest Home Festival. Well, we like the Harvest Home Parade, which I think is next Thursday. Thursday after Labor Day weekend. That flower. I'd grab it, but there's a bee in there. Of course, the wind starts up when I'm trying to zoom in on it. Beautiful day. Supposed to be a beautiful weekend, too. I think we're supposed to get a little bit of rain on Sunday. I know Cincinnati's going to do their big fireworks show Sunday night on the Ohio River. I used to go down to that when I was younger. It's like 500,000 people or more on the Ohio and Kentucky side watching the fireworks. It's a crazy party. I just watch them on TV anymore. Me and Jess just make some popcorn and watch the pretty boom booms on the tube. Well, guys, thanks for joining me for the exciting news today. We are going to Disney World. That is our trip. I know I've been holding that back. I'm sure some of you probably guessed it or just knew it and didn't say nothing. Thank you for letting us hold the surprise. For those of you who are new on the channel, also don't forget to like this video, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification bell. All the little things to help bring you into the Danno network. Guys, thank you so much for watching. With all that being said, I'm out. And always remember, the adventure is out there.